And we are live. I think we are live now. I'm just gonna wait like 2 minutes for people to start joining and all that stuff, and then I'll start talking about this reunion that I watched last night because it was pretty great. And I'm gonna turn my fan on because it's hot. If it wants to turn on. There we go. Okay. And when you're here, just write it in the chat and then boom, I'll start it off. And I'm excited to talk about this. I was planning on doing a video, and for the people watching on like the replay, definitely comment in like the real comments down below. And then I obviously always read them here, and I'm just gonna make sure that my camera and everything is up to what it should be. Yes. Okay, should have checked that after, or before. But oh well. This reunion was perfect. When I was like first thinking of like the video version of this, like not just a live stream, but the actual video version, I was planning on just calling it "Friends, the Reunion is Perfect." Blah blah blah, blah, like review, discussion, whatever I was going to call it there, because I genuinely think that this was everything it needed to be. It was actually crazy how good it was. And I don't need my glasses right now because I don't have to read any of the comments here. And okay, got one viewer here, so hey, what's up right now? And I just think that the reunion, the way it was set up with everything, I just think really worked for me. Earlier in the year, I watched the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion, and I don't remember. I should check when that came out. I can see close up. So, okay, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. When did that come out? Oh, came out in November? No way. That did not come out in November. There's no way that came out. May 12th? No? Whenever the hell that one came out, I'm not exactly sure. The Fresh Prince reunion was great. I didn't make a video on it, and I'm not exactly sure why. I think I watched it like a few days after it was released or something like that, but I love the Fresh Prince, and Friends is my favorite sitcom of all time. I think it's better than The Office, Seinfeld, even better. I mean, those are some of the best sitcoms, or at least comedy shows out there, even better than when I really love Letterkenny. The Friends just, for me, stands like above them all here, and seeing all these people back together was just amazing. And a lot of people are going to give James Corden shit. I mean, they always do, and they always will. But for me, I mean, I really love James Corden. Like an hour ago, not even, I was watching his Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts, Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. I've already seen the video, but I was like, yeah, I'll watch it again, and it's very entertaining. I really love that video. But for me, I love the way it was set up. I love how we got to see parts of them reading some of the scenes. We got to see parts of like the them not exactly being like interviewed, and we got random celebrities here, and people have complained about that part, and I get it. Like, was it necessary as always to have some of the celebrities here who didn't take part in it? Because I think my dog's going crazy. Reese Witherspoon is in it at one part, which makes sense because she was in the show. Yeah, it was Reese Witherspoon. There we go. Finally said the name. And she was in the show, so it made sense to have her here. There were a few, but I still did enjoy watching Kit Harington talk about it and stuff. And it was like an hour and 45 minutes, and for me, it never felt like boring or bland. I was intrigued the entire time because I was interested. What else are we gonna learn? And probably my favorite moment in the whole thing. Actually, I'll save that for later if I can remember. I'll save that for later because it's a little early on. But there's so many great things about it, and there was almost like, this sounds like a review way of saying it, but there was almost like tension in some parts. Like when they are, obviously spoilers for the show, but when they are talking about Rachel and Ross's first kiss, and they're reading out like the whole the scene, like there was actual tension there, and I will admit it did get emotional sometimes, and even I didn't cry, but I teared up. I'll say that I teared up at parts, and I was like, damn, like this is really something. And I think that I think it worked, because when you stick 6 actors who haven't really, like, they've been in a room, but they haven't been on this set in 17 years, I think it has been, um then they, it could go weird. And obviously part of it was planned. My nose is itchy, I don't know why. Because when they walked in, I was like, oh, that's sweet, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, they're mic'd up. There's obviously something. And Jason Carr says, I wish I had HBO. I'm sure it will be on YouTube later, perhaps, probably. In Canada here, we have Crave, so that is my, here, I'll fix that. I feel so weird because I feel like I'm sitting so far over. Wait, no, this way. Oh god, it's so weird because it's like mirrored. Anyway, on to your question thing. It'll probably be on YouTube, or you could probably find it online somewhere. Like, you could probably find it. Do I say where? I'll just say you could probably find it. I watched it on Crave here in Canada. It was just like Crave movies plus HBO. That's just like the extra thing. And if you live in Canada, then I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite streaming services for sure. It has Game of Thrones on it, which I still need to keep watching. It has a lot of things. It gets a lot of the new releases, like when they finally are like available. Like when you're looking for new releases, that's probably the biggest place you could go. Like last year, I remember they were like the first, maybe still the only thing that had Parasite. They always have like the 4 movies too, because they had Pan's Labyrinth. They're getting another round soon, which I still need to check out. I'm excited too, but I'm excited to check it out. But yeah, I'm guessing it'll be on YouTube or somewhere like that soon. And for me, talking again about the show, just when it opened up, I was like, oh, you can really feel this. And I think that's special. And one, just have to say thank you. If you joined this, big thank you, because this was 45 minutes in advance. It was like, hey, I'm going live, boom, and then I went live. But I love how just you felt the emotions, and when they all came back on, like a lot of them aged really well. Like you're like, damn, like 17 years ago, like that's crazy. And yeah, some of them had plastic surgery, and it's more obvious on some than others. But no, for a lot of them though, I was like, damn, this is cool, and I found the whole thing entertaining. I'd say my favorite part, no, I was saving that for later. Not my favorite scene, we could say, but my favorite kind of all of like the interviews, the table reads, like all of that. I would say it was probably when they were playing the game, which was from the episode, my favorite episode, the one with the embryos. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, where they're like competing for either the apartment and stuff, so, apartment, or get rid of stuff. But when they were doing that, and then what was it? Actually, they were all really funny, but then it was when they were talking about Chandler's job, and obviously in the show, that part's obviously very funny. And I was quoting a lot of the moments where he's like, what is Chandler Bing's job? And she's like, oh, transponsor. That's not even a word. And then, that was in the show. But then here, when they were doing it, once again, Jennifer Aniston goes, yeah, transponsor. And then Courtney Cox is like, no, that's how we lost in the first one. It's not that. And she starts like, not yelling, but like almost getting mad. And they actually kind of get into it. Maybe part of that was acting, but I found that part, the whole thing, really entertaining. And just like the way that Matthew Perry and Matt LeBlanc were sitting was just like exactly perfect. And of course, one of the many big iconic moments from the show is where they sit back in the chair and they go, oh. And when they mentioned the chairs and they walked into there, I was like, it's gonna happen. I called it. And then they kicked back, they did it. I was like, that is amazing. And I love when they're recalling, yeah, same thing. All of this is like the stuff that I normally cut out of my videos, or I zoom in a lot, and that you normally see. when they're like going back and thinking of like who are the funniest people we had on here, and they're saying like one of the biggest laughs was Ben Stiller, and they're showing some of the bloopers, and some of them I had seen before. There was like this one part where they're talking about like the fire that Joey does, and there's like 3 clips in a row which I've seen on a YouTube compilation like years ago, and I watched Friends 4 years ago. Yeah, like 4 years ago or so, maybe 3.5, or yeah, like 4.5 years ago, actually, something like that. And again, I still love it all the time. Anytime it's on TV, I sit down and I watch it. I barely ever watch TV, but like the odd time I'm flipping through the kind of the channels and I see that Friends is on, and I'm just like, oh, I'm like, well, I recognize almost all the episodes because of course I've seen them all, and some of them multiple times. And then I sit down and I watch it, and I just have such a fun time. And I think that's what the special was, because it was a ton of fun. It was so funny to see these actors repeat their famous lines, of course, and then they're talking about when Joey puts on all of Chandler's clothes, when they're fighting over the chair, of course. And then I didn't actually know this, but Matt LeBlanc dislocated his shoulder. See, this hand here is on the other side for me, so it's just weird. I don't know why, but he dislocates his shoulder because they got like 2 or 3 like good takes of him jumping into the chair, and then it shows the one where he jumps and then he trips over the coffee table, and then he dislocates it, and then he like it looks all normal, then he stands up and his arm's just like way lower than it should be, and then he walks into one of the bedrooms and you just hear oh from it, and then you see everyone okay, cut. And I'm honestly surprised they still have some of these, like, I mean, probably just because it was a very popular show even then. Like, these people were on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. It even said I'm not used to wearing glasses. I hopefully will be wearing contacts soon. But it just shows like also the cultural impact of it, and how I liked how the producers were talking, producers and creators. They were also talking because obviously a lot of people, when you think of really anything, I think, at least for the general audiences, the first thing they think of is the actors, because that's what you're seeing on screen. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's what you should be thinking of. That'd be weird if you didn't. But you don't really get to see the behind the scenes stuff. At least I don't think you do in the show at all. Like, I know in Fresh Prince there's that one episode where they take you behind stage and all that, and behind the scenes, which was funny. But this one, it's kind of normal. And I liked how, going back to the whole chair thing, they were talking about how the episode that seemed like it would be the easiest one, where it's just like the 6 of them in like one apartment, they didn't have like enough to at least like get other locations, at least right then, or they were, I don't know, they were just working on a budget, we could say, before I ramble on for too long. Ramble on. No. Jesus. This is the part that I normally cut out. No. And then they're talking, it's just like mainly dialogue, and that's difficult for them, but because they had the incident with Matt LeBlanc and him dislocating his shoulder, it made it so far then they couldn't just like finish the end of the episode and call it a night, and then just like with the rest of them, it involved all the actors. And then they talk about how they wrote it into the script, and what the second they did, I was like, oh, because I did remember how Joey's jumping on the bed and you hear poof, and then Chandler opens the door and he's like, this is why your parents told you to not jump on the paraphrasing, whatever. And again, reminder, just ask questions, whatever you want, and I'll answer to anything, especially related to the show, mostly anything. But if it's related to the show or the special, then 100%. And what did you think of it? Please tell me that too. And again, if you're watching on the replay, comment down below, because I'm interested to see what you guys thought, because I saw that a ton of people loved it. So many people loved it, which is great, because I was like, when, as I said before, when you're sticking the 6 actors of like at least my favorite comedy of all time, one of the biggest sitcoms ever, back 17 years later, it could be weird, but they found a way to do it really well. And one of the funniest things was like the whole runway kind of thing when they're talking about the costumes, and then freaking Justin Bieber is here, and he wasn't going as the holiday armadillo. He was going as like the potato thing. I forget exactly what it's, spunk. No, I could be totally wrong. And he's going as that, and I was just like, whoa! Like, they didn't make it a big deal that Justin Bieber was there, but that was kind of nice, because it's not about him, and Anyway, that's a different topic. Anyway, he's all right. And yeah, I'll talk about my favorite moment now. We're like almost 14 and a half minutes into this live. So I'll talk about my favorite moment. A lot of people are probably waiting for it. I think the funniest like moment in the thing, not like segment, but like moment. That was the word I was looking for before, topic or whatever. My favorite moment was when they're talking about, oh, and James Corden asked them like, oh yeah, were there any relationships like offset or like behind the scenes and stuff? And then we see like Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer just like, she's like, yep, sure, just go ahead. And then he starts talking. And then as they're saying, like, no, nothing happened. Where is, I don't know. I don't have like a drink besides a water bottle. Matt LeBlanc just takes everything and goes, bullshit. And then everybody's face, like he like, bullshit. And everybody's face just kind of explodes in a way. And it's really funny. Who is texting? Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter. Everybody's face, James Corden's like, and the whole crowd goes crazy, and and then he's laughing. He's like, nah, I'm kidding. And it's kind of funny to hear them admit that they had feelings for each other, well, but their relationships were like holding them back. Which I was thinking, like, imagine being the person they were in a relationship with at the time and hearing that, just be like, shit. Like, it was probably different. It was probably just the way it was worded. I just kind of found that funny. And I just thought, like, it was just like this little moment here. And I thought it was really funny. I also liked what they did with the fountain, how, they're sitting behind it, and it's behind them. They're sitting in front of it, is what I meant to say. And then James Corden's just like, yeah, this is pretty loud. And then they just turn it off. Oh, damn. Somebody sent, Chris sent a super chat, my first one. Congrats on 10K. I've only seen some episodes of Friends, but I was watching the return with the reunion with Cam. Keep it up, man. Thank you, Chris. That's my first super chat. There we go. And I had my glasses off. Means a lot, man. And yeah, guys, like, for those who are watching, go subscribe to Chris. His stuff is awesome. Like, one of the best people. I don't have his hoodie or shirt on right now, but it's really awesome. Thank you, Chris. And that's like your next project is to start on Friends. Once you finish all like Bad Batch or something, go ahead and start on Friends. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the reunion for what I feel like it's even kind of, I wouldn't say bittersweet, but like it's emotional, but it's also funny for almost everyone, because you do feel like the emotions between all these people. And, Jennifer Aniston cries a lot through it, and it's funny. Like, I didn't have a problem with it. I really didn't have a problem with anything here, because it's an hour and 44 minutes or so, and it didn't, I won't say it flew by, but that's because I was just so like locked in the screen, because I was so interested in what was happening in a way. And yeah, I keep looking at this on the screen, but thank you, Chris, once again. Yeah, we hit 1K. I'll be posting my 1K video tomorrow. For everyone watching, I'm going to film that tonight or tomorrow, but it is going up tomorrow. And I have some fun videos coming out this weekend. This is just like little side note here, but I'm going to be talking about Exile on Main Street by the Rolling Stones, Beatles for Sale by, obviously, the Beatles. Got to keep going with those. And then this is one that I'm excited to do. I'm not 100% sure how I can do it because of, it's somebody else's content, but I'm going to look at Watch Mojo's top 10 grunge songs, because obviously, which hand is it? Obviously, I'm a big grunge person. It's the greatest thing in the world when it comes to music. So I'm going to be seeing, I still haven't watched the video, I'm going to be like almost reacting to it in a different type of way and discussing what they picked for their top 10. But back onto Friends, honestly, and for a third time, thank you, Chris. That's awesome. It's still unbelievable to me, for those who are watching. Sorry for the sidetrack, but it's still unbelievable to me that like just under, what is that? Like it is the, what is it? Come on, the 28th, and I started on June 1st, 2018, which is crazy. My videos aren't still up, and then here I am now, almost 3 years later, and I now hit 1,000. I won't say what I have, but I have big things coming, releasing tomorrow. That's all I'll say about that. Just gotta keep it quiet. I don't know what the hell this was. Anyway. Oh, this is what happens when I do lives by myself and my Wi-Fi is going down. Or at least that's what StreamYard says. So if anything's glitching, just write it in the chat, just so I know. And also, what do you think of the new things behind me? You can't even see some of these because my chair is covering some of them. But let's finally get back to Friends after that 5-minute derail there. What I really enjoyed about it was how they edited it all together. Like, I'm not saying like, geez, specifically the actual editing, but how they strung all these different segments together. And they had the interviews, they had the table read throughs. And what I really liked about they had the question one with the embryos thing, but what I really liked about the table read is that they interspliced the like actual them reading it now, wrong hands, I gotta get used to that. Them reading it now with the clips from the show. And I thought that was amazing when they're quoting some of their lines. It was so funny. And I think the funniest moment, like I saw it in my favorite moment, but I think one of the funniest moments was when they're talking about the very famous pivot, pivot scene, which is still a quote. I mean, we all do, but I especially use all the time whenever pivoting something or moving something, especially like the couch. And I think it's Kit Harington who talks about it. It could be David Beckham, but I think it's Kit Harington talking about how they just on the page, it seems like it just is like words. It's just dialogue. Obviously, that's how scripts work, but they have it just written down there. But it's the delivery and the line delivery and everything that I think really that he said, and I agree with him. It was either him or David Beckham. Oh wow, okay. Oh shit. Thank you, Jason Carr. I'll just finish what I was saying, then I'll go into this on the screen. It's a line delivery that really makes a scene, obviously makes it iconic. But yes, congratulations on 1K. Enjoy watching your reviews on the movies and music you provide. Proud to be a subscriber and just subscribe to Film Stock. There you go. Thank you, Jason Carr, for $20. Like, that's insane. $30 in 21 minutes. That's crazy to me. But again, all my subscribers, it's the cliche thing to say, but it means a lot whenever I'm seeing this. And my dog's outside there. But yeah, Film Stock. Everyone watching, all 4 of you and all the ones watching in the replay, go subscribe to Chris. And thank you, Jason. Once again, I always love reading comments. And that's the thing, is that recently I've begun like backed on comments in like responding to them. But the thing about them is that even though I don't respond to them right away, I still get the notification on YouTube Studio on my phone. So it kind of my phone slides off my desk. So I still read them in the moment, and then I sometimes will forget, or I'll get a bunch of them. But like tomorrow or something, I'm just gonna go through and respond to like all of them, or at least all the ones that I can. But thank you, Jason. And that's so awesome. I think you'll like the announcement coming tomorrow, and all you will. And back to the iconic moments. Let's talk about the actual show of Friends. And I think that is like, it's almost lightning in a bottle in a way. I know a lot of you are like, what are you talking about? But I think it worked because they got the perfect people for the perfect roles. And they were talking about this in the reunion, how hard it was to cast a lot of these people, and it showed where they were before. I didn't know that. I think it was Matthew Perry was on some like space show or something, like futuristic show, and I didn't even know that. And then when they put that on, I was like, whoa, I haven't seen this before. And Kid Critic is here. Hey, what's up, man? Your stuff is awesome. Your skits are funny, but they're really funny. Friends is one of my favorite shows. So happy they did this reunion. I agree, it's right now in my top 3 favorite shows, and I'm glad you enjoyed the reunion because I thought it was awesome. I'll keep that comment on the screen for longer. The reunion, yeah, I'm glad you liked it, because I'm glad that it satisfied a bunch of people, like a bunch of people, and it wasn't like they're getting all like this big announcement. And I remember when they first were talking about it. I don't remember the exact day or even year. Like, I don't know if it was a year ago or like 2 years ago or 3 years ago or something, but I think it probably was like a good 2 years ago where there was just like rumors of it where people wanted it to happen. And then I guess HBO Max picked it up. And here in Canada, our way, as I said before, of getting HBO Max stuff is getting it on Crave. We got this on Crave. We got the Snyder Cut on Crave, both the, like the in color one, the color one, and the black and white one. And it's cool. It's cool. As much as I would love HBO Max, because I think out of all the streaming services I've seen, it looks like the best one. And I know, everybody always talks about what the best one is. If it's truly Netflix, and I really enjoy a lot of Netflix. But yeah, there's some downsides to being Canadian, but overall, highly no. That's a different topic for a different time. But back to Friends. Again, I always get sidetracked with these. They're fun. And what was I saying before? Oh yeah, the casting. So if we didn't have all these people playing, like all these actors playing these characters, it would have been totally different. Because when you look at someone like Phoebe has always been one of my favorite characters. My favorite character, for those who are wondering, is Joey, with Chandler right behind him. Like they're really close, but it's just always been Joey. There's something about Joey. Call it the cliche pick. I feel like the cliche pick is almost Chandler, but he's just, I don't know. I love them all, though. They're almost all equal. Like ranking them is really difficult. And like, I don't know, like nobody asked me to, but it's just kind of interesting to this side of my hair. My hair is confusing now that it parts in two different ways, like more so in the middle. Anyway, more sidetracked. But I really enjoyed hearing about Jennifer Aniston, because I didn't really know too much about like her before this. Like I don't think I had seen her. Well, I know I hadn't seen her anything before it, because obviously I wasn't alive back in 1994, sadly, although that is the best year for movies, and I will, I feel like most people agree. And then she was on this other show as like a waitress, and then she went in to do the the pilot episode, or like the first 3 episodes of Friends it was. And then I'm just gonna take this off again because the prescription's wrong, so it feels weird in my eyes or on my, anyway, I'm gonna say that. And then when she started doing it, and then she started really enjoying it, and then you see me squinting just naturally, she started really enjoying it. Then she went to her manager or boss or whoever was running that other show which she played the waitress on. I forget what it was. And then she said, "I'm having a really good time. Can you please let me go? I just really want to do this." And then he said, like, "Oh yeah, I saw that." I think it's a he. He's like, "Oh yeah, I saw that show. It's not good or something, or that's not gonna make you a star. This show will." And then I guess they just figured out a way to, I forget exactly what it was, but then she obviously ended up just getting on Friends, which is great. And I love how they also talk about there is no main character. Like the producers or creators, they all talk about there is no main character. And I think that's one of the things that works so well for the TV show, push these all the way up, is that there is no main character. So when you're, when you watch shows and it focuses on only the side character and you're like, oh my God, like this is terrible. Or let's take a look at like Cars 2 or something. That's just the one thing that comes to my head. You got Cars, and then Cars 2 goes to Tow Mater. Everybody loves Tow Mater as a side character. Put him as a main character. Terrible. I was going to make a fart noise, but not live for whoever watches or finds this in 6 years or so, whenever I'm a lot older. That'd be funny. This plays at my wedding. No. What am I saying? It's so the atmosphere, or the way live streams are by yourself compared to with other people, is so different. And I'm probably going to go for another 10-12 minutes or so. I'm going to go for 35-40. I'm going to say like 40 minutes or so. So if you have any questions, please fire them in the chat, or anything. Like, you can fire as much as you want, and I can only talk about that. It was great. And as I said many times, for those who missed it on the first part, I honestly gave, like on Letterboxd, I gave this a 5 out of 5. I think it was everything it needed to be. I said earlier that when I was thinking of just posting this as a video form, now obviously it wouldn't be as long, it wouldn't be as laid back. I would have actually edited it and made it 10-15 minutes, 7-15 minutes, or however long it would be. I don't know why I just yawned. I'm not even tired. Then it would have been different. But I was going to call it Friends the Reunion is Perfect, dash, or the bar thing. I forgot what it's called. Jesus, that's something I should not be admitting to on like live. I don't know what, not slash, but anything. Then it would be like a review or discussion, probably call it like discussion or something. And it was just something that really satisfied me as a massive fan of the show. I've seen a lot of the episodes. I've seen all the episodes. I've seen a lot of them twice at least, and some of them like 5 times or something. Like the one with the embryos, I think is my most rewatched one, I think. And it's one of those shows that actually has like the perfect finale. And I like how this is like a smart gateway into it, or segue. How they discuss, would you guys? James Corden asked them, would you guys be down with doing a movie or doing another season or episode or something like that? And I love how right away they just went, nope, we wouldn't. And which is kind of funny. This is a little side note, but like earlier on in the thing, they said, oh yeah, all the characters are so good that, they could have worked as their own show. Nope, apparently not, because have you seen the Joey show? Because neither have I, and I don't think many people did, and I heard it was terrible. Nothing against Joey, he's obviously my favorite character, but I heard about that, and I thought that was pretty funny when they mentioned that. I was like, we saw how that went. Obviously, no one talks about it, and some of you may not even have known that. Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. And then, what was I saying? Damn it. Yes, the idea of another like episode or sequel or season or something. They just all shut it down right away, and they said, if anything, then like the writers, the creators, or whatever you want to call them, producers, anything, they would have written something, but they like how they're still like they have a happy ending in a way, and they felt like they said that it ended in like a happy way for them, that if they did another episode or show or anything or season or anything like that, or movie, that's what I was trying to say, then they would have to like untangle everything and then finish it off at the end of something of this length again, talking about the movie. And Jason says he watched a Joey show. I don't think it lasted long. I'll look up how long it lasted, because I don't think it lasted long. Okay, only 2 seasons. There, see, he knows more than I did. I wonder how many episodes Joey. Yeah, it was just called Joey. There were 46 episodes. I expected the reviews to be worse on this one. I mean, a lot of them have like 7 point something, but maybe that's just like the hardcore fans just like in denial of it. Again, I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment. Season 2 looks like it's more so rough, but yeah, I just don't really see how that could work with only one of the 6 characters. And there was something else about that point. Anyway, going on with it, and I also found that this one felt like I'm just gonna keep comparing it to the Fresh Prince reunion, which again, I love them both like a ton, and I still don't know why I didn't do a video or something. Maybe I did maybe I posted something about it. I can't remember. I don't know why I'm yawning again, but I think that it worked because for me it never felt boring. For a lot of people, they did complain about the actor like interviews aside. Sorry if that was loud there. They talked about like the parts with Reese Witherspoon, Kit Harington, and David Beckham, how they dog's going crazy for the second time in this 33-minute live stream. They're talking about how they just felt like it was pointless, but I think it worked because we got some insight to how it affected even like the big celebrities, I guess, because obviously you got Kit Harington, who was on one of the biggest shows of all time, Game of Thrones, David Beckham, one of the most famous athletes ever, Reese Witherspoon, one of the most famous actresses ever, and of course she was in the show. Talked about that, and I also liked when they were talking about like the cameos, and I was just thinking like, oh yeah, they got this, they got Brad Pitt on it, they got Danny DeVito, which when he was the stripper, which was so funny. Did they mention Bruce Willis? Because I swear I know he was on the show, but I don't think they mentioned it or showed a clip, maybe for reasons I don't really, again, not sure about that one. And then they didn't mention Paul Rudd, which is weird, but probably because it wasn't a cameo. Like he was obviously a big part in a lot of the later seasons of the show, and he wasn't there, which again, we're talking about, a lot of this was during COVID. I'm not exactly sure when it was, but everybody has masks on. Well, the audience members do, and the like crew does too. So like obviously it was recent. I remember when it was announced, it was like, oh damn, like finally we're getting it. And I remember being worried, like, oh no, it's on HBO Max. How am I gonna watch it? Then I'm like, oh wait, Crave is good with that. And then I also there was somebody else who I found weird that wasn't there. I need to go back and look. And I just remember this, but I do love how, again, I didn't know this, that Phoebe's like sister in the show or whatever is called oh wow, you know that app Stardust, like the little mini movie review app. It's just sent me an email saying it's shutting down. I haven't used it in a while, but oh well. What was I saying? How Phoebe or Lisa Kudrow on another show played a waitress called Ursula, and then on Friends, obviously she does. And who was I was looking for? I need to look for Friends. There was someone who I expected to show up. We got Gunther, who showed up like online, like on a screen, which was cool. We got, the Geller parents, which was nice to see. And then we had Janice come back, like what's her name, Maggie Wheeler. She came back, and when I heard the voice, I was like, yes, I hate her so much, but that's so awesome. I don't hate character, but like, you're like, oh no, I don't hate the actor, but you're like, oh no, I hate this character, but you hate them, but you also love to see them on there. And yeah, there's a few people actually that I can name. Oh, I forgot Jon Favreau was there. I'm surprised that Cole Sprouse. I just thought of this now. Cole Sprouse, like who played the son, didn't come back yet. He played like the kid. He wasn't on it. And like Estelle, that was another one. I think yes, Tom Selleck came back on it, and there were like a bunch of nice familiar faces, and there were even some people. Oh yeah, I think it was David, like Hank Azaria. I was like, damn, I'm surprised he wasn't on it. And like, sure, you have some of the exes who weren't on it, but I was kind of surprised that some didn't. But then again, it was shot during COVID recently, and they can't get a hold of everyone right away. And I'm gonna be on for another like 3.5 minutes. So once again, fire out your questions, everything like that, and I will answer them all, or anything you want me to discuss about it, because I've basically covered everything that I've thought of, and there's a lot. And once again, thank you to Chris and Jason for the super chats, and thank you to everyone who tuned in as it's live and who is tuning in after. Like if you tuned in after, comment down below. Just I don't care that you missed it, trust me, as long as you watched. That's all that matters. And yeah, like I just gotta say thank you once again for 1K. I got a big video coming tomorrow. It's not gonna be like a super long video, but like an important video. That's the better way to describe it. And for those who stuck around the whole time, I know it wasn't like a super long stream, but it's gonna be about 40 minutes. So it's a significant time out of your night, and it's been a pretty crappy day out. It's just been rainy and gross all day, so it was kind of nice. And of course, on my review, I posted 2 videos already today, as well as this going up, obviously. And then tomorrow I'll have 2. Sunday I'll have 2. Monday I think I'll have 2, and then I'll go back to 1 a day, because 2 a day is a lot. I've just had like a bunch of free time this week, just because I didn't work as much, or at least all my work was at the start of the week, and then I had a bunch of open days. So I was like, yeah, sure, let's make that push to 1,000. And then like on 2 days into that 2 video a day thing, I hit it, and I was like, damn, like wow. And there's a certain reason I didn't post the 1K video before, but you will see it when you watch the video. And once again, thank you everyone who watched, and please tell me what you thought of this reunion down below. Did you like it as much as the Fresh Prince one? Because I did like it more, but that's also because I like the show more. No disrespect to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think it is incredible. I absolutely love it. It's another one of my favorite shows, favorite sitcoms. Like, it's probably in my top 10. Friends is in my top 3, maybe. Yeah, I'd say it's in my top 3. If not that, then top 5. I don't know why I keep yawning. It's honestly like one of the, I think it's like the only flawless comedy show that I've seen so far. One of them. Seinfeld, maybe 2. I would say The Office, but we know how that went later on in it. I'm talking about the American one. I still, honestly, I haven't finished The Office, and I started it on December 27th or 28th of 2017. I remember that because I was at a hockey tournament, and I still haven't finished it. There are seasons of that I think are incredible, like over half the show, and then of course Seinfeld is almost as good. Like it is. A lot of people do think it's better, and I can see why you think that. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to come on here, and I've got to start doing more live streams. I want to start doing them with more people and giving you more than 45 minutes in advance to when I'm going live, so that more people could be on it as it's live, obviously, instead of just watching on the replay or missing it, which is, again, it's all right. It's all right. I'll then make sure to check out my reviews for all the episodes of the Mighty Ducks Game Changers. The show, season 1, is completely done. I'm not sure if we'll get a season 2 or anything, but I have reviews of all that. And then, as I said before, Exile and Main Street video coming tomorrow. Beatles for sale. Going to be talking about the Watch Mojo's top 10 grunge songs. I'm going to film that video probably after this or sometime soon. And then of course my 1K video is coming tomorrow, and then we got more for Sunday. I won't spoil all that, but I've got to thank you all for watching. Thanks once again to Chris of Filmstock, obviously one of my good friends, probably my best YouTube friend, I would say. Really nice of that donation. And Jason Carr, thank you, very loyal subscriber and all that. And thank you for all who are watching, and have a good night. I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.